Between the infinite regional chunk of info you're going to have coming out on this channel this week, I figured we go ahead and take a look at some of the random decks that succeeded for other events, like Ice Jade. Where in the heck did Ice Jade come from, of all things? Big 30% of you guys have not smashed the living crap out of the subscribe button. Smash it so we can climb up the 100k ladder. What in the world is this? Ice Jade? Really? Really? You know, we're playing a Sprite Karen here to bring it off of Gigantic. Okay, level 2 package in here. Be very honest with you. When I first initially got the DM and said, hey, I made third place at locals out of about 15 people this week, I was like, you know, and I was like, you know, we'll take a look at Ice Jade, because anytime a certain like abnormality like this shows up, I think it's really cool just kind of track. Like on the higher competitive level, you're seeing like the massive sprite takeover and things here, but I do think it is kind of interesting to see on like the local level that the twists and turns are still going for the rogue category. So we have 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, 2 copies of Doop Doop, triple copies of Ice Jade Acti, triple copies of Ice Jade Green. We have 2 copies of the Ice Jade Creation Arrow Kaisis. Then we have the Kumosocolor. Then we have 2 Tinolas here. Then we have triple copies of Tremora. We have 2 copies of Ronin Totem, 1 copy of Sprite Red, triple copies of Swap Frog, and then we have 2 Fury of the Kyroton. I mean, the cool thing about this entire deck is everything is water. Alright, so being able to set up, you know, Torrential Tribute to clear a field here, and then have the protection of this, seems really good. We also have triple copies of the Enion Cradle, then of course triple copies of the Ice Jade's Creation, 1 copy of the Ice Jade Curse. Again, this is the sad card. We have 1 Monster Reborn, 2 Gozens, 1 Ice Jade Erosion, 2 Torrential Tributes, and 1 White Howling. Down in the extra, we have 1 Sprite Elf, 1 Mist Starboy, 1 Bubble Reef, oh my gosh, 2 Coral Anemone, 1 Iria, 2 Toads, 1 Kraken Spawn, 1 Stealth Kraken, 1 Gigantic Sprite, 1 Abyss Dweller, with 1 Chang Ying, 1 Punisher, and 1 Egyptian God Slime. I wish I had the side deck for this, but we don't, but that is your Ice Jade list. Next up here is the Adventure deck. Now, I've been loving the fact that Adventure Stun still continues to mow down a lot of really weird events here. Because, you know, being able to set this up, you know, off of this, it won't bounce back to the hand, which means you just forever have a lurking monster on the field. That's a walking, talking floodgate. And of course, don't gotta worry about Sprite out here, because King Tiger Wang Hu is here to take care of the situation for you. Alright, so this is basically the control aspect of everything I love in life. So we have 2 copies of Amano Iwado, triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, 1 copy of Illegal Knight, triple copies of King Tiger Wang Hu. We have 1 Kumamungus, 2 Lava Golems, 2 copies of the Magic Core, triple copies of Vanity's Fiend, 1 Griffon Rider, triple copies of Water Enchantress. We have 1 Called by the Grave, the 1 Draco back, 2 Faithful Adventure, 1 Foolish Burrow with the 1 Forest of Lost Flowers, triple pot of extra for draw power. Then we have triple copies of Rite of Armesier, triple copies of Small World, 1 Starlit Papillion, 2 copies of the Tri-Brigade Air Assault. We have triple Solemn Judgment and triple copies of the Soul Drain. Now, we did not have an extra deck for this, but this is just what Akano plugged in from his version. You go ahead and adjust and build however you really see fit for this here. We also have triple copies of Draugen. I mean, while Fossil Dyna does have its advantages here, this does give you an basically body on the field to discard to clean up your problems, which is really good. We have triple copies of Token Collector, 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 Twin Twisters, triple copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance, and triple copies of Solemn Reich here. Striking out the competition, man. I had to absolutely say that. I do love the fact that you can try some very, very cool things out here this format and get rewarded for it, because a lot of people aren't going to be, you know, be able to handle like a really off-field control deck like this. They're just going to be like, what's going on here? Next up here is Warrior Turbo, aka we dug out some of our hero stuff and we're going to go give this a shot. I just want to give a quick little shout out here to this good card here, because a lot of people look at Isolde as like a power card. It's still able to kind of set up and do these crazy fields, and the card is still amazing. So we have triple copies of Vision Hero Viam, 1 copy of Stratos, 1 Shadow Mist, 1 Draw Hand, 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, 2 copies of Ghost Belle, and then of course triple Fire Flint Lady, 2 Malicious, because why would you not play Malicious, right? We have 1 Denier, 2 Ghost Ogres, 2 copies of DD Crow, 1 Renauld with 1 Artifact Scythe, 1 Infinite Impermanence, triple copies of Gamma, and 1 copy of Driver. Then we have 2 Croissant Designators, 1 copy Called by the Grave, triple copy of A Hero Lives, because just being able to pay half of your life points to deploy some relatively huge bodies onto the field is actually quite free. Like, I love free real estate, or so. Like, it feels so good. We have 2 copies of Mash Change, 2 copies of Fusion Destiny, 2 copies of Pot of Prosperity, 1 Durandal, 1 Rhoda, 1 Living Fossil, and 1 Polymerization. Then we have 1 copy of the Sky Thunder, 1 Baguski, 1 Access Code, 1 Apo, 1 Celine, 1 Unicorn with 1 Dahark, 1 Crossy Sheepy, 1 Dagda, 1 Isolde, 1 Cross Crusader, 1 Blast, 1 Dark. Yeah, honestly, this is the reason why this deck gets a chance to do good. Thank you. Just kidding. We don't even like have a good functionality access point to this thing. You would think that... I love Mass Change, man. It's so good. We have 1 copy of Dystopia and 1 DP. And we have triple copies of Droll Knockbird, 2 Godarlas, 1 Dino Wrestler, 2 Cosmic, 2 Lightning Storms, 2 D-Barrier, 2 Anti-Spell, and 1 Red Reboot here. Wrapping up Hero Control? Here we go. This is first place out of a case tournament in, what was it, California. So it ended up going 9-0 and tearing through a lot of the meta. But, like, how often, besides, like, a few flukes out here, do you think that you would see Drytron maintaining its course on the format here? I am very happy to see that Drytron has definitely edged out a lot of the current metagame to remain a semi-decent rogue/top contender. So we have triple copies of Alpha Thuban, triple copies of Altias, triple copies of Eltanin, triple copies of Aldbio, 1 Manju, 2 copies of Ben 10, 1 Editen, 1 Natasha, 1 Draconius, with 1 good old Bethor. We have 1 Ophiel, 2 copies of The Fool. We have 1 Called by the Grave, triple copies of Cyber Emergency. This is going to be the reason why your deck can actually function right now. The amount of board breakers that you can actually just kind of shove in to something like this and have it work out is quite nice. So, triple Dark Ruler. We have 2 Drytron Fafnir, triple Nova, 1 Foolish Barrel, triple Droplets. It's so good. We have 1 Matanis, 1 Mystic Mine, then we have 1 Ritual Sanctuary, 1 Set Rotation, 1 Terraforming, and 2 Talents. Starting the next deck, we have the 1 Underworld Goddess, 1 Link Karibo, 1 Unicorn with 1 Phoenix, 1 IP, 1 Troubled Sunny, 1 Apple with the 1 Access Code. We have 1 Assembled Nightingale, 2 Mu Beta Fafnir, 1 Downard, 1 Zeus, 1 Beatrice, and 1 copy of Abyss Dweller. Then we have 1 Evil Twins Kishi La Kill. We have triple copies of Lava Golem, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 copies of Mystic Mine, triple copies of Twin Twisters, triple copies of Ultimate Slayer. Then we have 1 Evenly Matched and 1 copy of Red Reboot here, showing us that, hey, Drytron out here can still perform. I love to see this. This is awesome. And the last was we have for this video, MathMech take number 99. Like, so many MathMechs this weekend. Like, this is so crazy to me that, like, this deck performed up to very crazy standards here. Like, Circular was like the hard carry for this. So, good stuff. I'm going to clap for it because an entire weekend of MathMech is good. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, 2 copies of DD Crow, 2 Effect Veilers, 2 Ghost Ogres, triple copies of Addition, triple copies of Circular, triple copies of Diameter. We have 2 Sigmas, triple copies of Subtraction, 1 Space Rock, triple Parallel Exceed, 1 Call by the Grave, triple Signet Mining, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Equation, 2 Small World, triple Infinite Permanence, and 2 copies of Super Factorial here. Then we have 1 Update Jammer, 1 Transcode Talker, 1 Splash Mage, 1 Owl Mirage, 1 Link Disciple with 1 Link Devotee, 1 Lingaribo, 1 IP, 1 copy of Cyber's Wicked, 1 Apple, 1 Access Code, 2 copies of Laplace, and 2 Alan Bershin. Then we have 1 copy of DD Crow, 2 Space Rocks, 2 Crossout Designators, triple copies of Dark Ruler No More, triple Twin Twisters, triple Anti-Spells, and 1 copy of Red Reboot here, wrapping up, well, your big chunk of fun little stuff out of this weekend. So, you guys got any rogue that you did well with? Please feel free to drop me a message. You know, all my social media links are linked down below. You run into so many cool opportunities to reach out to me, and I would love to continue to share all of the really rogue information out here that has shown up. Make sure you guys have a good rest of your day, alright? Peace out, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.